This time has expired. I give the call to the member for Chifley.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. Last night I had the pleasure to attend the Sydney University Incubate Demo Day, which had 8 young enterprising startups pitch their ideas for investment to try and attract investment support for the businesses that they were going to plan. Incubate has had a great track record of success. It was actually supported by the student union at Sydney University, because Sydney University didn't want to support Incubate initially. It is now, and it's been run by James Alexander and a great bunch of people. Last night at their demo day, they had one of the youngest startups was recognised by Lenovo as won the Entrepreneurs Award, and this startup basically was set up by 2 people who met in high school. They started university this year. They put together their company, Fluid Education, and they've started an app, and they've got 1,000 followers already, 1,000 users already. There'd be some people in this place who'd be having hard enough trouble getting 1,000 Twitter followers, and these people have users already. Young people have already demonstrated their capability in being able to start themselves up into a business. And these are the type of people that are at the forefront of our thinking on the Labor side. And I'm happy to say to the startups and the entrepreneurs that are in this country that are trying to change the way that our economy works, trying to create new jobs and trying to build better communities, that they have a voice in Labor. They have got our attention. For the first time, either a ministerial or a shadow ministerial position, we've recognised startups in the lineup. Startups have been recognised for the first time. So small business important to recognise, but also important to recognise startups as well. And it's not just in name, it is in action. It is not just in talking the talk, it's walking the walk. If the Assistant Minister wants ideas, we have released 2 waves of policies already. The budget and reply speech was warmly received by the startup community because it focused on the fact that you needed to build the talent pool in this country, and the way to do it is to do it early, to get young people focused on computational thinking, on coding and getting that into primary schools. Derided, I might add, by the former Prime Minister, who had to backtrack because wiser heads on that side of the fence recognised that this was not a smart policy and that we do need to get younger people focused on coding. We've announced support for STEM and getting more people into science, technology, engineering and mathematics training. We announced, for example, the creation of a startup year that would ensure not just that we would attack the low level of startup formation in this country, but that we would also break down the culture that works against people thinking that they can start their own enterprise. More important than anything else, that startup year creating 2,000 new startups. And also dealing with, for example, capital flows. We have, for instance, announced that our policy would be to create an innovation investment partnership which would bring together superannuation funds and the VC sector to work out how to pull down the barriers that exist between one of the biggest savings pools on the planet, $2 trillion in superannuation. How do we get them to invest more in early-stage investment right here? If you want ideas, we've got them and more, Assistant Minister. We will be bringing more. Well, I might ask the member for Hinkler, what is your record on innovation? Because as much as you're worried, as much as you call us for ideas, let's look at what you've done. Just on innovation, reductions in the value of R&D, abolished commercialisation Australia. I mean, the Assistant Minister has become great friends with Doron Ben-Meyer, but his government got rid of him out of Commercialisation Australia. He's now in MAP in the Uni of Melbourne after being ceremoniously having seen all the funds cut out of Commercialisation Australia and being gutted. You can see they abolished Enterprise Connect, they cut $45 million from clean technology programs and abolished industry innovation precincts. I mean, you want ideas, here's an idea. Don't keep cutting at innovation if you want the country to be more innovative. And you can't have a policy hackathon, Assistant Minister, if you're going to say at the table here that we're not about spending money, because the people that are attending will want to know what support they're going to get for ideas. They want to see government, and you are right, Assistant Minister, because you and I do have these conversations. They want government, startups want government to do the things they do well: support education, improve capital flows, reduce regulatory barriers,
Order.
and make sure we are an
Members'
innovative
time.
nation.